Now, we earlier heard the response coming from the Chinese Foreign Ministry about the G7 statement. There are different understandings about what's going on in the region. Mr. Rong Ying, I want to go to you about that. At this moment, China is very determined to show to the rest of the world, to the compatriots on the Taiwan island, and particularly to the politicians in the United States, that China is determined to guard its territorial integrity. Mr. Rong, how should the rest of the world look at the series of responses and countermeasures that China has put out since U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan?
Well, I think it has been very clear, and also I think for the international community to understand the gravity of this situation, and also the determination of China to defend and safeguard its national interest. But I also have to be very clear: these responses, these targeted military operations, were aimed at these separatist forces, these politicians in the United States and others, for the sake of their own personal agenda and interest to create trouble, to destroy peace in the region. So it has been that's why I think China has made it very clear the moves, the responses is, on the one hand, it's a self-defense. On the other hand, it is meant to defend peace and stability in the region. There are so many cases in the past, now, and I think in the future that these kind of sort of a situation, if not dealt with properly, it can easily spread out of control. And it is sheer sort of a kind of force for the G7 foreign minister to speak irresponsibly about China, making remarks like that. Remember, just a few months back, when the Ukraine crisis broke out, it was them who forced the international community on the sort of excuse of sovereignty and territorial integrity. When China's sovereignty and territorial integrity is undermined, now they are talking about the exercise of restraints, they are talking about the calm. It's totally nonsense, it's totally rubbish, and hypocritical and double standard.